So, how much does Riga cost? Internet £20, public transport £50, utilities £60, rent £200, food £150, and altogether budget will be £1,000. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, because you showed such a big interest in how expensive is Glasgow video, I decided to make one about Riga, which is the capital of Latvia and the place that I lived for most of my life. Once again, in this video I'm going to get into details of basic minimum expenses to move to Riga and how much living in Riga will cost you after you made your move. And if you do decide to move to Riga, you might need some extra cash. That's why I made a video on my best tips on how to save money. Just, watch it. So, the first things to consider: how expensive are apartments or flats in Riga? The flat that I used to live in cost 250 euros a month. It was a beautiful, light, warm and nice apartment. It was a little bit further away from the city center, but it was a really nice apartment and I would give it 7 or 8 out of 10 considering the price. So you could get a decent one-bedroom apartment starting from 200. So if you do want to live in the city center, the apartments might get a little bit more expensive, so that's something to consider as well. Of course, after rent you would also have to include your utility costs, which would be your electricity, water, heating, and all those things. So in the summer they would be about 60 euros and in the winter they might go up to 100 euros. Obviously, utility costs depend on what kind of apartment you have and how much you use electricity and water and other things. Now I want to talk about basic living expenses, for example food. For one person, food might cost you about 150 euros a month. That includes an occasional restaurant and eating at work as well. Of course it depends on what you like to eat, what are your preferences, do you eat a lot or you eat a little. I mean, if you eat a lot you might go up to 200, 250. Or if you want to save up some money, you could go down to 100 euros a month. The next thing, transport. For your own car, it always depends the kind of car you have, how much you want to drive and all those things. But the only thing I can tell you is that the insurance isn't as crazy as here in UK. So you might get a little bit better deals there. But about public transport, all the buses, trams and trolley buses, all of them have the same prices because they are owned by the same company. One bus ride will cost you 120, so in a month if you just use it for work you might spend about 50 euros for just traveling to work and back. There's also the smart cards that you can apply for and get a little bit better deals and get monthly tickets and stuff like that. All the information about public transports are available here on this webpage. I'll leave it in the link in the description, and the webpage is also available in English. So you can read through that if you're interested. But if you live in the city center or near it, you can always walk to work or have a bike and save that money. Taxis aren't very expensive, but they're just a little bit more expensive than public transport. For mobile phone services, you would pay starting from 20 bucks and then it depends on your needs. If you don't want to have a mobile contract, you can always use the prepaid cards or top-up cards. They start from $1.99 and you can use them for a couple of months. And now about internet. Latvia has one of the fastest internet connections in the world. No, seriously. And it's actually rather cheap in comparison to this country and their internet. Super fast unlimited internet in your home would start from 20 euros. And then you can see your demand and you can go even higher. But for 20 pounds you'll get a great internet. Not like here in UK. So even the cheapest internet connection will be a lot better than most of the European countries. There's a lot of free time leisure activities that you can attend in Riga without spending any money. So you just need to Google it. Minimum wage in Riga right now is 430 euros if you work 40 hours a week. And the minimum hourly rate is about 270 an hour. A regular job, just like in retail, in coffee shops, bars, restaurants, would usually pay you a little bit over the minimum wage. But then again, you also have to include that almost 30% of your whole salary will be deducted in taxes. And that's no matter of your salary. It's harder to tell about getting jobs because I have no idea about your qualifications and maybe you have a job lined up. But usually a regular job might want you to know at least Latvian or Russian language. But you can always discuss this with your employer before you move there. So if you do decide to move to Latvia, this might be your moving budget. You would need about 500 euros for your first rent and the deposit, maybe 300 euros for the first 2 months for the food, 50 bucks for traveling expenses, 50 bucks for traveling expenses, and 150 just for safety reasons, you know. And for traveling to Riga, I can't really say because I have no idea where in the world are you watching this video. So if you do have a job lined up and you want to move there, I don't think you need more than 1,000 euros to start your new life in Riga. My only advice, start your new life in Riga in the summer because it's a lot nicer there. This is a postcard that my sister sent me with the Monument of Freedom in Latvia. Look at it. I think I want to keep it in the studio somewhere, so maybe here. If you're planning to rent an apartment, it would be a good idea to split it with someone, maybe your partner, or if you don't have a partner, that's alright as well. It's okay to be an independent, strong person. You could just rent 2-bedroom apartment and split it with someone. That might be a lot cheaper than just renting a whole apartment for yourself. You can always rent just a room in an apartment if you're okay with that. A nice room in Riga in someone's apartment might cost about 100 euros if it's a nice apartment, so that's something to think about as well. I personally couldn't live with roommates or flatmates, except my partner, but everyone's different, right? Riga isn't the biggest city in the world, so even if you live further away from the city center, everything's very close because you can get anywhere in quite a short time. Okay, this should be it for this video. Maybe you want me to make a video about another country, because if people are gonna watch this, I'll make a video about it. You can leave it in the comment sections. Would you move to Latvia or not really? Or you can leave in the comment section which city I should do next or which place in the world. I don't know. Or if you're from Latvia watching this video and you think some of these things are not correct or you have your own opinions about this, leave them in the comment section so you can share them with the people. And if you're an aspiring YouTuber and you think you want to move to Latvia, maybe don't, because Latvia doesn't really pay the ad revenue, if you know what I mean. Okay. Yes, this is it for the video, and I'll see you in the next video in probably a couple of days. See you guys, bye bye!